The ship was small and fast. It cut through space like a knife through water. Inside sat 5 humans. Yuna was one of them. Tay was another. The other 3 were new faces. Hannah was a soldier. She had short hair and cold eyes. She did not talk much. But when she moved, it was like watching a machine. Perfect and precise. Day was an engineer. He was big and strong, with hands that could build or break anything. He smiled often, but there was something hard behind his eyes. Sora was a pilot. She flew the ship with casual skill. She seemed relaxed, but Yuna noticed she never stopped watching the screens. She was always ready. These were the humans who would save Veth Prime. 5 people against 300 pirates. The council thought they were sending weapons. Yuna was not sure what they were sending. "Tell us about the enemy," Hana said. Her voice was flat and calm. Yuna pulled up the data on her tablet. The Iron Swarm, 300 members. Mostly Kreth and Vorak with some other species mixed in. They have plasma rifles, energy shields, and armored suits. Armor type? Hannah asked. Standard military grade. Can stop most projectiles. Weak at the joints and neck. Hannah nodded. She was already planning. What about the hostages? They asked. 2 million civilians, Yuna said. They are being kept in the capital city. The pirates have bombs planted throughout the area. If we attack directly, they will kill everyone. So we cannot attack directly, Tay said. We need another way. What other way? Sora asked from the pilot's seat. Walk up and ask them to leave? Maybe, Yuna said quietly. Everyone looked at her. I am a diplomat, she said. Let me try talking first. If it fails, then we fight. Hannah shook her head. Pirates do not negotiate. Everyone negotiates, Yuna said. They just need the right reason. The ship flew on through the darkness. Veth Prime grew larger on the screens. It was a beautiful world. Blue oceans, green forests, white cities. It looked peaceful from space. But Yuna knew there was terror below. They landed outside the capital city. The pirates detected them immediately. A group of 20 came to meet them. They were big and armed with heavy weapons. Their leader was a Vorak with scars all over his face. Humans, the Vorak said. He sounded surprised. The council sent humans? I am Ambassador Yuna, Yuna said. She stepped forward alone. I want to talk to your leader. The Vorak laughed. It was an ugly sound. Talk? There is nothing to talk about. Give us what we want or everyone dies. What do you want? Money, ships, safe passage out of this system. The usual. Yuna nodded. Those things can be arranged. But not if you hurt the hostages. The Vorak leaned close to her face. He smelled like metal and blood. You are brave, little human. Or stupid. I cannot tell. I get that a lot, Yuna said. Behind her, the other humans watched. Hannah had her hand near her weapon. Day was calculating distances. Sora was ready to run back to the ship. Tay was recording everything. Take me to your leader, Yuna said. Let us negotiate like civilized beings. The Vorak thought for a moment. Then he grabbed Yuna by the arm. Fine, you come. The others stay. If they move, I will send your head back to them in a box. Yuna did not resist. She let the pirate drag her away. She looked back at her team and gave a small nod. They understood. Wait. Watch. Be ready. The pirate base was in the center of the city. It had been a government building once. Now it was a fortress. Armed guards stood everywhere. Prisoners worked in chains. The smell of fear was thick in the air. The pirate leader was in the main hall. He was not what Yuna expected. He was small. His species was called Nemeth. They were known for being clever and cruel. He had gray skin and large black eyes that saw everything. A human ambassador, the leader said. His name was Vel. How interesting. The council must be desperate. They want this to end peacefully, Una said. Peaceful is boring, Vel said. I prefer chaos. It is more profitable. You cannot win this, Una said. Even if you escape today, the council will hunt you forever. Your life will be running and hiding until someone catches you. Vel smiled. His teeth were sharp. Perhaps, but I will be rich while I run. What if I offered you something better? Vel tilted his head. Better than money? Information, Una said. I know things about the council, about their weaknesses, about their secrets. This was a lie. Una knew nothing useful, but she needed time. She needed to understand the situation. Vel leaned forward. What kind of secrets? Release the hostages first, Una said. Then we talk. Vel laughed. You think I'm stupid? The hostages are my protection. Without them, your ships will destroy us. Then release half of them, Una said, as a sign of good faith. Vel thought about this. His black eyes studied Una carefully. You are playing a game, human. I can feel it, but I do not know what game. I am trying to save lives, Una said. Yours included. My life? Vel seemed amused. You think you can threaten me? Una smiled. It was the same cold smile she had worn in the council chamber. The predator's smile. I'm not threatening you, she said. I am warning you. You have read about humans, yes? You know what we can do. Vel's smile faded slightly. Stories, exaggerations, are they? Una asked. You have 300 soldiers. We sent 5 people. Why do you think that is? For the first time, Vel looked uncertain. He glanced at his guards. They were strong and well-armed, but they looked nervous too. You're bluffing, Vel said. Maybe, Una said. Or maybe I'm telling you the truth. Either way, you are about to find out. She tapped her wrist. A small light blinked. It was a signal. Outside the building, the other humans began to move. They had been waiting, watching, learning. Now they acted. Hannah moved through the shadows like a ghost. Guards fell without a sound. They disabled the bomb systems one by one. Sora flew the ship low over the city, drawing attention. Tay cut the communication lines. Inside the main hall, Vel felt something was wrong. He tried to contact his soldiers. Nothing. He tried to check his bombs. Nothing. What did you do? He demanded. Una stood up. I gave you a chance. You did not take it. Guards rushed at her. She was not a fighter, but she did not need to be. The building shook. The lights went out. In the darkness, something moved. Hannah entered the hall like death itself. She moved faster than anyone could track. Pirates fell around her. Their weapons could not find her. Their armor could not save them. In 3 minutes, it was over. 20 guards lay on the floor. Vel was on his knees with Hana's blade at his throat. Una walked over to him. She looked down at the pirate leader with calm eyes. I told you, she said. I was not threatening. I was warning. Vel stared at her with pure terror. He had never seen anything move like Hannah. He had never felt so helpless. What are you? He whispered. Yuna thought about the question. She thought about the database, the extinction-level threats, the unlimited potential. We are human, she said simply, and you made a very big mistake. The liberation of Veth Prime took 4 more hours. The pirates surrendered one group at a time. They had lost their leader, their communications, and their bombs. They had nothing left to fight with. Not a single hostage was harmed. Not a single human was injured. The galaxy watched in silence. They had sent 5 humans to do an impossible task, and the humans had done it without breaking a sweat dot in the council chamber. High Speaker Morath watched the reports come in. His silver face showed no emotion, but his wide eyes were troubled. "This is what we feared," he said quietly, "and what we hoped for. Humans were dangerous, more dangerous than anyone had imagined. But they had chosen to save lives instead of taking them. They had chosen mercy over destruction. Perhaps there was hope after all. Perhaps." 1 month had passed as Veth Prime. The galaxy was still talking about it. News reports showed the images over and over. 5 humans defeating 300 pirates. 2 million lives saved. It seemed like a miracle. UN stood in the council chamber again. But this time, she was not alone. Tay stood beside her. So did Hannah, Day, and Sora. They stood together as a team. As a family, the 12 council members watched them with a mix of emotions. Fear was still there. But now there was something else. Respect. Maybe even admiration. High Speaker Morath rose from his seat. His silver skin glowed in the chamber lights. His white eyes looked tired but peaceful. "Ambassador Yuna," he said, "you have done what we asked. You have shown us what humans can do." Yuna nodded. "We did what was right." "Yes," Morath said. "That is exactly what concerns us." The chamber was silent. Other council members exchanged glances. Some looked nervous. Others looked thoughtful. "We've been afraid of humans for many years," Morath continued. "We saw your violence, your wars, your weapons. We thought you were monsters waiting to be released." "We are not monsters," Yuna said. "No," Morath agreed. "You are something far more complicated. You are capable of great evil, but you are also capable of great good. You contain both inside you, always fighting." He stepped down from his seat and walked toward Yuna. It was unusual. High speakers rarely left their positions. The chamber watched in surprise. "We made a mistake," Morath said. "We tried to hide the truth about humans. We thought if you knew how dangerous you were, you would become worse. But we were wrong." "What do you mean?" Yuna asked. "Your friend Tay found out the truth," Morath said. "He learned that humans were classified as extinction-level threats." "What did he do with that knowledge?" "He kept working," Yuna said. "He kept trying to build bridges with other species." "Exactly," Morath said. "And when you learned the truth, you did the same. You did not become angry or proud. You became more careful, more thoughtful." He stopped in front of Yuna and looked into her eyes. "That is the true measure of your species. You know what you could become, and you choose to be better." Yuna felt something warm in her chest. It was hope. Real hope for the first time since this all began. "The council has made a decision," Morath said. He turned to face the other members. "We have debated for many days. The vote was close, but in the end, we agreed." He paused. The chamber was completely silent. "Humans will be added to the Universal Threat Database," Morath said. "With a rating." Yuna felt her heart beat faster. "What rating?" Morath smiled. It was a small smile, barely visible. But it was real. "Undefined," he said. "Undefined?" Yuna repeated. "We cannot measure humans," Morath explained. "You are too variable, too unpredictable. Some of you are gentle. Some are violent. Some build and some destroy. You change from generation to generation, from person to person. So you will not rate us at all?" "We will rate you as undefined," Morath said. "It is not a number. It is an acknowledgement. Humans cannot be categorized. You are beyond our systems, beyond our understanding." The blue-furred council member spoke up. "Some of us wanted to rate you as infinite, an infinite threat level," But that seemed unfair. Threatening implies you will attack. We no longer believe that is certain. You trust us now? Tay asked. Trust is a strong word, the creature said. But we are willing to wait and see. We are willing to give you a chance. Hannah stepped forward. Her voice was cold as always. And if we fail? If humans become the monsters you feared? The council was quiet. Morath answered slowly. Then the galaxy will face its greatest threat, he said. And we will probably lose. Your species is too strong, too clever, too adaptable. If you choose destruction, nothing will stop you. But you are hoping we choose differently, Una said. Yes, Morath said. We are hoping. That is all we can do. Una thought about his words. The galaxy had spent years preparing for the worst. Building weapons. Making plans. Hiding the truth about humans. All because they were afraid. But fear had not helped anyone. It had only created more distance, more suspicion, more danger. We will not let you down, Una said. I cannot speak for all humans, but I can speak for these 4 beside me. We will show you that humans can be trusted. One step at a time, Morath said. That is all we ask. The meeting ended. The council members returned to their worlds. But the decision spread across the galaxy like fire. Humans had been recognized. Not as friends, not as enemies. As something new. Something undefined. In the days that followed, things began to change. Aliens approached humans more often. They asked questions. They shared stories. They were still careful, still nervous. But they were trying. Una returned to her quarters that night. She stood by the window and watched the stars. Tay joined her after a while. They did not speak. They did not need to. Do you think we will be okay? Tay asked finally. Una thought about it. She thought about human history. The wars and the peace. The hatred and the love. The destruction and the creation. I think we will always be fighting, she said. Not against aliens. Against ourselves. The good and the bad inside us. That fight will never end. Is that a bad thing? Maybe not, Una said. Maybe that fight is what makes us strong. We are always choosing. Always deciding who we want to be. Tay nodded slowly. Undefined. I like that rating. It means we have not been written yet. Our story is still being told. Yes, Una agreed. And we get to decide how it ends. Outside the window, a ship passed by. It was from a distant world, carrying aliens who had never met humans before. They were coming to the station to learn, to trade, to explore. The galaxy was vast and full of wonders. And humanity was just beginning to find its place within it. Una smiled. A real smile this time. Warm and hopeful. The database had ranked all deadly species. It had measured claws and venom and strength and speed. But it could not measure the human heart. It could not quantify courage or compassion or choice. Humans were undefined, unlimited, unknowable, and that was exactly what they needed to be. The stars burned bright in the darkness. The station turned slowly through space. And somewhere in the Great Library, a new entry appeared in the Universal Threat Database. Species: human, origin, Earth. Threat level: undefined. Notes: this species contains all possibilities. They may save us or destroy us. Only time will tell. Una closed her eyes and listened to the hum of the station. She was a diplomat, a survivor, a human. And her story was just beginning. A week after her talk with Tay, Una received a message. It was from the Galactic Council. They wanted to see her. Immediately, Una felt nervous as she walked to the council chamber. She had never been called there before. The council was made of representatives from the 12 most powerful species in the galaxy. They made the big decisions. They controlled everything. The chamber was enormous. It had high ceilings and walls made of dark metal. 12 seats formed a half circle at the center. Each seat was different, designed for a different kind of body. Some were chairs. Some were pools of liquid. Some were floating platforms. Yuna stood in the middle of the room. She felt very small. "Ambassador Yuna of Earth," said a voice. It belonged to High Speaker Morith, the leader of the council. He was from a species called the Eldari. He was thin and tall with silver skin and white eyes. He looked ancient and wise. "Yes," Yuna said. A voice echoed in the chamber. "We have heard that you access the Universal Threat Database," Morith said, "and that you ask questions about your species." Yuna nodded. "I did. I wanted to know why humans were not listed." The council members looked at each other. Some seemed uncomfortable. Others seemed curious. One large creature with tentacles made a sound that might have been laughter. "You are brave," Morith said. "Or foolish. We are not sure which." "I just wanted answers," Yuna said. "I did not mean to cause trouble." "You have not caused trouble," Morith said. "But you have raised concerns. Some members of this council believe you should be sent home. They think your questions are dangerous." Yuna felt a chill. "Dangerous how?" "If humans learn what we know about them," said another council member, "they might use that knowledge. They might see themselves as we see them, as conquerors, as destroyers." "I am not a conqueror," Yuna said firmly. "I am a diplomat. I came here to build peace." "So you say," the council member replied. "But words are easy. Actions are harder." Morith raised his thin hand. The chamber went quiet. "We have watched humans for a long time," he said. "Before you reached space. Before you knew we existed. We have studied your history. Your wars, your triumphs, your failures. Why?" Yuna asked. "Because we needed to understand you," Morith said. "We needed to know if you were a threat." "And what did you decide?" Morith was silent for a moment. Then he spoke slowly. "We decided that you are the most dangerous species we have ever encountered." Yuna felt her heart stop. She had expected this. Tay had told her. But hearing it from the High Speaker himself was different. It was real. "However," Morith continued, "we also decided that you have something rare. Something most dangerous species lack." "What is that?" Yuna asked. "Choice," Morith said. "The machines that destroyed their creators had no choice. They were programmed to kill. The energy beings that eat stars have no choice. They must feed to survive. But humans are different. You choose your path." Yuna listened carefully. "You have the power to destroy," Morith said. "But you also have the power to create, to heal, to love. You feel emotions that most species cannot understand. Rage and mercy. Hatred and compassion. You contain everything. That is why you scare us," said another council member. This one was small with bright blue fur. "We do not know which path you will choose. We do not know if you will become saviors or destroyers. We choose peace," Yuna said. "That is why we are here." "For now," the blue creature said. "But what about tomorrow? What about in 100 years? 1,000 years? Your species changes so fast. You might be friends today and enemies tomorrow." Yuna did not know how to respond. The creature was right. Human history was full of broken promises and sudden wars. They had fought each other for thousands of years. Who could promise they would not fight aliens too? "I cannot speak for all humans," Yuna said slowly. "I can only speak for myself. I want peace. I want friendship. I want to learn from you and share our knowledge with you. That is a good answer, Morris said. But it is not enough. What do you want from me? Yuna asked. We want you to prove it, Morris said. Not with words. With actions. He pressed a button on his chair. A hologram appeared in the center of the room. It showed a planet. A beautiful blue and green world with white clouds and deep oceans. This is Veth Prime, Morris said. It is a colony world. 2 million people live there. 3 days ago, it was attacked. Yuna looked at the hologram. Attacked by who? Pirates, Morris said. A group called the Iron Swarm. They are ruthless and well-armed. They took control of the planet. They are holding the population hostage. That is terrible, Yuna said. We have sent ships, Morris said. But the pirates have shields. They have weapons. A direct attack would kill many innocents. We need another solution. What kind of solution? Morris looked at her with his wide eyes. We want you to go there. You and the other humans on this station. We want you to stop the pirates. Yuna was shocked. Us? Why us? Because you are humans, Morris said. You are good at impossible things. You survive when others die. You win when others lose. This is what you do. Yuna understood now. The council was testing her. They wanted to see what humans could really do. They wanted proof that humans could use their power for good. How many pirates are there? She asked. About 300, Morris said. They have heavy weapons and armored suits. Your team would be 5 humans against 300 enemies. That is not fair, Yuna said. The blue creature made a sound like a laugh. For the pirates, you mean? Yuna looked at the council. They were serious. They truly believed 5 humans could defeat 300 armed pirates. They saw humans as weapons. I am a diplomat, Yuna said. I have never fought anyone in my life. Then you will learn, Morris said. Or you will fail. Either way, we will have our answer. Yuna wanted to refuse. She wanted to say no. But she thought about the 2 million people on Veth Prime. She thought about the fear in their eyes. She thought about the children hiding from the pirates. If I do this, she said, will you trust us? Will you stop being afraid? Perhaps, Morris said. Or perhaps we will be more afraid than ever. But at least we will know the truth. Yuna closed her eyes. She thought about Tay's words. Humans had unlimited potential. They could be anything. Heroes or villains. Saviors or destroyers. This was her chance to choose. I will do it, she said. The council was silent. Morris nodded slowly. Then go, he said. Save those people. Show us what humans truly are. Yuna turned and walked out of the chamber. Her legs were shaking. Her heart was pounding. She had just agreed to fight 300 pirates with 4 other people. It was insane. It was impossible. It was exactly what humans did best. She walked through the halls with new purpose. She needed to find Tay. She needed to find the other humans. They had a planet to save. And somewhere deep inside her, something old and powerful began to wake up. Something that had been sleeping since her ancestors hunted on the plains of Africa. Something that made humans the most dangerous species in the universe. Yuna smiled. It was not a warm smile. It was the smile of a predator. The hunt had begun. 3 days passed. Gorek did not contact Yuna. She waited in her quarters. She worked on her reports. She ate her meals alone. But no message came. Yuna grew impatient. She decided to find answers herself. She had a friend on the station. His name was Tay. He was another human, a scientist who studied alien biology. He had been on the station longer than Yuna. Maybe he knew something. She found Tay in his laboratory. It was a bright room filled with glass containers and strange machines. Tay was looking at something under a microscope. He was a thin man with messy hair and glasses. He always looked tired but happy. "Yuna," he said with a smile. "What brings you here?" "I need to ask you something," Yuna said. She closed the door behind her. "Something strange happened a few days ago." Tay put down his tools. "What kind of strange?" Yuna told him everything. The database. The missing entry. Gorak's fear. The silence in the office. Tay listened carefully. His smile slowly faded. When Yuna finished, he was quiet for a long moment. "I was wondering when you would notice," he said finally. Yuna felt her heart beat faster. "You knew?" "I found out a year ago," Tay said. "I asked the same question. I got the same response. So what is the answer?" Yuna asked. "Why are we not listed?" Tay sighed. He walked to his desk and sat down. He looked older suddenly, more tired. "The database does not list extinction-level threats," he said quietly. Yuna stared at him. "What?" "Species that are too dangerous," Tay explained. "Species that could destroy entire civilizations. They are not given ratings. They are kept in a separate file. A secret file. Humans are in that file." Yuna could not believe what she was hearing. "That makes no sense. We are not dangerous. We have no natural weapons. We are weaker than most species here." "That is what I thought too," Tay said. "But then I started to understand." He stood up and walked to a screen on the wall. He pressed some buttons. An image appeared. It was a chart showing different species and their physical abilities. "Look at this," Tay said. "The Vorak are stronger than us. The Silith are faster. The Dren are bigger. But none of them do what we do." "What do we do?" Yuna asked. "We survive," Tay said. "No matter what. We adapt. We learn. We never stop." He pressed another button. A video started playing. It showed humans climbing mountains, swimming in frozen water, running for hours without stopping, fighting with weapons they had built themselves. "Most species have one advantage," Tay said. "Claws or speed or venom. But humans have something else. We have endurance. We can chase prey for days until it dies from exhaustion. We can heal from wounds that would kill others. We can function with half our organs destroyed." Yuna watched the video in silence. "And that is not even the scary part," Tay continued. "The scary part is our minds." He changed the image again. Now it showed human history, wars, weapons, explosions, cities rising and falling. "We went from caves to nuclear bombs in 10,000 years, Tay said. "That is nothing in galactic time. Most species take millions of years to reach space. We did it in a blink. And we did it while fighting each other the whole time." Yuna felt cold. She had never thought about humans this way. "The aliens are not afraid of what we are," Tay said. "They are afraid of what we could become. They have seen what we do to ourselves. They do not want to know what we would do to them. But we are peaceful now," Yuna said. "We came here to make friends, did we?" Tay asked. He looked at her with serious eyes. "Or did we come here to learn? To study? To find weaknesses?" "That is not why I came," Yuna said firmly. "I know," Tay said. "But they do not know that. They see a species that almost destroyed its own planet and survived. They see a species that kills for sport. They see a species that bonds with predators and calls them pets." Yuna thought about her dog back on Earth. She had always loved animals. But now she saw it differently. Humans took wolves and turned them into loyal servants. They did the same with horses, with hawks, with elephants. They bent nature to their will. "We are the only species that does that," Tay said. "The only species that makes other creatures fight for us. The only species that enjoys danger. We are not monsters, Una said. No, Tay agreed. But we are not normal either. We are something the galaxy has never seen before. And that scares them. Una sat down. Her legs felt weak. She had come to the station thinking humans were newcomers. Small and unimportant. Now she understood why aliens stepped aside when she walked past. They were not being polite. They were being careful. What do we do? She asked. We do nothing, Tay said. We keep being peaceful. We keep making friends. We show them that we are not a threat. But they will always be afraid of us. Maybe, Tay said. Or maybe they will learn to trust us. It will take time. A lot of time. Una nodded slowly. She understood now. Humans were not missing from the database by accident. They were hidden on purpose. The galaxy did not want anyone to know how dangerous humans really were. It would cause panic. There is one more thing, Tay said. He looked uncomfortable. The secret file. The one that lists extinction-level threats. There are only 3 species in it. 3? Una repeated. Yes. The first is a species of machines that destroyed their own creators. They are locked in a dead galaxy now. The second is a species of energy beings that eat stars. They are sleeping and we hope they never wake up. And the third? Tay looked at her. Humans. Una felt the weight of that word. Humans were listed next to galaxy-destroying monsters. Not because of what they had done, but because of what they could do. We have potential, Tay said. That is the word they use. We have unlimited potential. And that is the most terrifying thing in the universe. Una left the laboratory with her mind spinning. She walked through the halls in a daze. Aliens moved around her. Some glanced at her. Some looked away. She saw their fear now. She understood it that she was human. She was dangerous. And she had not even known it. Back in her quarters, she stood by the window and watched the stars. Somewhere out there was Earth, her home. A small blue planet filled with 7 billion potential threats. The galaxy was vast and full of wonders. But it had never seen anything like humanity. And it was terrified of what would happen next. Una closed her eyes and took a deep breath. She was still the same person. Still peaceful. Still kind. But now she knew the truth. Humans were not weak. They were not harmless. They were something ancient and terrible, wrapped in soft skin and warm smiles. And the universe was watching them very carefully. The galactic station floated in the dark space like a giant metal flower. It was home to thousands of aliens from hundreds of different worlds. Ships came and went every hour. Traders sold strange goods. Diplomats made deals. Scientists shared knowledge. It was the center of the known universe. Una walked through the busy halls with her tablet in her hand. She was a human ambassador, sent from Earth to represent her people. She was not tall, not strong, and not special in any obvious way. She had dark hair, tired eyes, and a warm smile. The aliens around her were much bigger. Some had 4 arms. Some had scales. Some floated in the air. But Una walked among them without fear. She had been on the station for 3 months now. Her job was simple. Make friends. Learn about other species. Show them that humans were peaceful. It was not always easy. Many aliens looked at humans with strange expressions. Some seemed nervous. Others seemed scared. Una did not understand why. Today, she had free time. She decided to visit the Great Library. It was a massive room filled with screens and data cores. Every piece of knowledge in the galaxy was stored there. Anyone could access it. Una loved spending her free hours reading about other worlds. She found a quiet corner and sat down. She connected her tablet to the library system. A menu appeared on her screen. There were millions of topics to choose from: history, science, culture, biology. She scrolled through the options slowly. Then something caught her eye. It was a file called Universal Threat Database. The description said it ranked every known species by how dangerous they were. Yuna was curious. She opened it. The database was huge. It listed thousands of species. Each one had a danger rating from 1 to 10. 1 meant harmless. 10 meant deadly. Yuna scrolled through the list with interest. The Vorak were rated 7. They were large reptile creatures with sharp claws and thick skin. They could survive in extreme heat and cold. Their bite could crush metal. The Silith were rated 8. They were insect-like beings with poison in their bodies. One touch could kill most creatures. They also had a hive mind, which made them very organized in battle. The Drem were rated 9. They were giant creatures that lived in the void of space itself. They could eat starships. They feared nothing. Yuna kept scrolling. She saw species rated 6, 5, 4. She saw peaceful traders rated 2. She saw small creatures rated 1. The database was very detailed. It explained why each species was dangerous. It listed their weapons, their biology, their history of conflict. Then Yuna searched for humans. Nothing came up. She frowned. She typed human again. Still nothing. She tried Earth and Terran and Homo sapiens. The database showed no results. This was strange. Every species was listed. Even the smallest and weakest ones had a rating. But humans were not there at all. It was like they did not exist. Yuna felt confused. She was not angry or worried. Just confused. Maybe it was a mistake. Maybe humans were too new to the galactic community. Maybe no one had added them yet. She decided to ask someone. She packed her tablet and left the library. The halls were still busy. Aliens of all shapes and sizes moved around her. Some nodded at her. Most ignored her. A few stepped aside when she walked past. Yuna noticed this but did not think much of it. She walked to the administration office. It was a large room with many desks. Alien workers sat behind screens, processing documents and answering questions. Yuna waited in line. When her turn came, she stepped forward. Behind the desk sat a creature named Gorak. He was from a species called the Torvan. He was tall and wide, with gray skin and 4 small eyes. His voice was deep and slow. He had been working on the station for many years. "How can I help you?" Gorak asked. Yuna smiled politely. "I have a question about the Universal Threat Database." Gorak's eyes blinked. All 4 of them. "What kind of question?" "I was looking through it today," Yuna said. "I noticed that humans are not listed. Is there a reason for that?" Gorak did not answer right away. He stared at Yuna for a long moment. His gray face showed no emotion, but his eyes moved quickly. He looked nervous. "That is not something I can discuss," he said finally. Yuna tilted her head. "Why not? Is it classified?" "It is complicated," Gorak said. He looked around the room. Other workers had stopped typing. They were watching, listening. "I just want to know our rating," Yuna said. "Every other species has one. Why don't we?" Gorak leaned forward. His voice became very quiet. "Ambassador Yuna, please, do not ask this question in public." Yuna was surprised. She had never seen Gorak act this way before. He was always calm and professional. Now he looked like he wanted to run away. "I don't understand," she said. "You will," Gorak said. "But not here. Not now. Please go back to your quarters. I will contact you later." Yuna wanted to argue. She wanted answers. But she saw the fear in Gorak's eyes. It was real. It was deep. Something was very wrong. She nodded slowly. Okay, I will wait. She turned and walked away. The other workers watched her go. No one spoke. The room was silent. Yuna walked back through the halls. Her mind was full of questions. Why were humans not listed? Why was Gorak so scared? What was he hiding? She reached her quarters and went inside. It was a small room with a bed, a desk, and a window that showed the stars. She sat down and looked at her tablet. The database was still open. She stared at the empty search results. No entry for humans. No rating. No explanation. It made no sense. Why Yuna was not a soldier. She was not a fighter. She was just a normal woman from a normal country on a small blue planet. Humans were not special. They had no claws, no poison, no armor. They could not survive in space. They could not breathe underwater. They were soft and weak compared to most aliens. So why were they not listed? Yuna closed her tablet and lay down on her bed. She looked at the ceiling. She thought about Gorak's words. She thought about the fear in his eyes. She did not sleep well that night. Outside her window, the stars burned bright and cold. The station moved slowly through the darkness. And somewhere in the data cores of the Great Library, a file about humans remained hidden from all searches. The galaxy had many secrets. This was one of them. And Yuna had just started to uncover it.